Hello, everyone. It's Untamed with Chris and Super Frankie, and he's looking good with his shades. He's in Yorkville, Toronto, which is one of the coolest parts of Toronto, we have to say.
We have to say Super Frankie's back on the North American continent, baby.
It's true. It's true. And so, are you happy to be home?
Hey, Sebastian, can I just show you? Look, this is my friend who loves soccer. This guy, we're on a podcast right now, and this guy loves soccer.
Hey, ¿cómo está, bello?
And he knows Marco very well. We were supposed to have Marco on the club, but this guy's Italian. He's obsessed with you.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Thanks.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
We'll see you
That's
soon.
awesome.
See, I get you guys. Thank you. Nice to see you. Just
That's
there you
awesome.
go. There you go. That's what I do for you, Chris. That's what I do for you. I'm bringing you the
love it.
stars. You're the smart one. You're the artist, and I'll bring you the stars.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Did you know he was going to be around hanging out?
No, he's just walking the street. He's a good friend of a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Let's-
That's
Let me
awesome.
get you another interesting guy. Watch this. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna we're on the podcast today, Super Frankie. We like to talk about sports and interesting people.
We are.
And you really like sports. So David Argyle. So we're on the Chris and Super Frankie podcast right now. This guy by the name of David Argyle. Come on here for a second. Come on here for a second. I'm gonna introduce you to this guy for just a second. So David Argyle, just so that our audience knows. So David Argyle is one of the biggest guys in the mining industry for many, many, many years. But his claim to fame was or is he brought the first successful rugby team to Canada. He was the owner of
That's
the
awesome.
Toronto Wolfpack.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's a very close friend of mine. And so we run this podcast one day a week on Thursdays at 10 o'clock. And it's often around sports, big figures, people that we know.
Yeah.
And David, can we ask you, we all know where the Wolfpack is now. It's kind of, you tried something that was crazy to have an international team go across the pond and play. What was one of the most interesting things that happened to you during that tenure, those few years that you brought, along? What was interesting? What was hard? Can you give us a little bit of the?
I'll tell you what was interesting. There was a lot of hard times, but the interesting part was when in rugby league, it's promotion relegation, just like football in the
Yes.
in the UK. And so we started off, and there's 3 leagues in the professional level. We started off in League One. We won our first year. Then we got promoted to championship, and 2 years in championship, and we won the second year in the final, in the playoffs and championships, and we got promoted to Super League. But the last match we played in Toronto, which was in 2019,
Yeah.
right before COVID struck, we had 11,600 people attend the match at Lamport Stadium.
Wow.
And it was phenomenal. The mayor was there. There were people hanging off the rafters. It was a huge testament to the fans and the players for out of grassroots
Yeah.
bringing it to that sort of level. And so for that season, the 2019 season, we had more people come to our games than the Argos.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
I remember being there. I would run around with some things, and I'll tell you, David did such an incredible job. The headlines can tell you one thing. Other things can. A friend of mine just bought Pogoń Szczeciński in Poland.
Yeah.
The big Polish soccer team.
Yeah.
And everybody says this. This guy did it with his own pocket change. Went to a few and was, imagine trying to house people, pay them, get people there. Everybody's
True.
got a story. What this guy did was really unbelievable, really unconventional. And everybody can tell stories their own way, but you really sunk your heart and soul into it.
Yeah, it was an endeavor.
It was a real endeavor. It was really hard to do.
But the success was global, because in 2019, when we got promoted, we also signed for the championships, also for Super League. We signed Sonny Bill Williams, and that year we had 2 billion. That's right, billion social media hits.
Viewers. So that's,
Viewers.
I think a lot of people were really after your
Wow.
eyeballs.
Yeah, and we actually produce our own TV games, of the actual sports games, and we were in 156 television markets around the globe. And
Wow.
so we had this enormously loyal fan base. We had, our super supporters with Wolfpack tattoos on them,
Nice.
almost from
Yeah.
day one. So when you look back on it, we went a very, very long way. And of course, when COVID hit, we fell between the cracks. We weren't a UK team, which got federal government support in the UK.
Yeah.
And we weren't a Canadian team, even though we were, but we weren't playing in any Canadian league. So basically, we were left on our own, and no way to move players across the pond, no way to move fans across the pond, because the English are very passionate supporters. So for 2020, Air Transit, which was our official carrier, they had allowed for 56,000 transatlantic flights for the Super League team fans to come over to see Wolfpack games.
Wow.
56,000, and were on schedule to be an extra 6% of UK arrivals into Toronto just from the Wolfpack. And
Wow.
so we had it. It was a little thing, and then of course we never had COVID in our business plan as a risk.
Yeah.
I can laugh about it now.
So let me tell you. So he can see us. So I'll send you this after. So I just had a laugh because I bumped into David Argyle in the one hotel. I'm about to have a coffee, and he said to me, "Frank, I'm getting married." And I said, "Again?" And we had a really good laugh because he's a very, very charismatic guy. So my wife went to his first wedding. She flew in on helicopters into the Grand Canyon, was married by the Elvises. He was in an Elvis outfit. He said, "I'm getting married again." But I really love David because the first time my wife met David, he's a few years older than her, and she walked into her office. She was working in the mining industry, so first job kind of mining. And she said this English guy, this Australian guy came up to me and grabbed me by the arm and said, "Hey, honey, walk with me." And she said, I took it. She said I didn't know what to do. I said, "Don't worry, that's how the English guys are. Just walk with him. He's a charming, magnetic, super successful guy." So I want to ask you, David, what's the next mining project or project you're working on? Because you got this chance, 5 more minutes to tell us about a great thing that you're working on. And, we'd be happy to hear about it.
Well, we've got a fantastic rare earth to metal story going on to NASDAQ in the next month, realloys. And then we also have some other critical metals from like antimony. But what we do differently, what everyone else does, is that we focus in on the midstream and the downstream. So we actually turn the upstream mining material into something useful, like a metal. And that's what's happened in North America over the last 20 years. Is straight up the metal making went to China. We're bringing that back, and we're doing it for what we call critical materials, critical metals, the things that sit behind, the metal that sits behind all modern technology. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
It's nice to be back in on a winning commercial team. Even
There
though the Wolfpack was very successful on the field, we never quite made it principally because of COVID.
But I could tell you that David will try his hardest to make it all work. So, David, thank you for being on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I'm going to finish out this up. I'll see you guys for coffee. And so that's what you get with me, Chris. You always get some interesting characters that awesome. I think we're probably into 15 or 20 minutes of our phone call, or
we're getting close. We're getting close to 15.
Close. What, you have anything that happened to you this week or that we should chat about?
Nothing crazy this week. Just doing my thing and getting ready for the kids to go back to school. That's coming up. One last
you have one in high school? Do you have one in high school?
Yeah, actually Dante is going to his last year of high school.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then Juliet's a year away from high school. So
wow, so you're kind of one's out, one's in. So I've got one going into grade 9. My other little one is going into grade 7. I'm hoping to golf with him later in this evening. Nice. I'm glad we had the chance to do this audio podcast today and video podcast today, because I think this is our our strength, and we're going to try to keep putting interesting people on. That's kind of, I think, what we're going to try to go for. Obviously, our banter's kind of funny, but we got two fun people in Yorkville. Obviously, today we got Sebastian Jemchenko from the Toronto
Giovinco.
FC. Giovinco, I don't know these
Giovinco.
names. I don't know the names. And we had David Argyle, who's
David Argyle.
really super cool mining guy over the years. He's done some crazy deals, knows lots of people. He knows Gina Reinhardt, who's like a billionaire in Australia. He knows the richest woman in Australia. He's friends with her, and he's quite an interesting character. So the great call. Thanks, Chris. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 10 o'clock. We've got the Untucked Golf Tournament happening on September 15th.
We do.
We've got some interesting people coming. Snow's coming. Alan Frew, AJ Lawson from the Raptors. So we've got some celebs have said they're coming, but you never know with their schedules. So it is around TIFF time, and just back to the Leaf seasons. It turns out the Leafs are hosting their Leafs golf tournament that same day, because I was told, someone come, and then kind of things have changed. So we're out there looking for some cool celebs to be there, but that's turning out to be the premier golf tournament of the season. We have the CEO of KMH going to be there doing a speech for us, and continuing to push our our vision to just destigmatize mental health and have more fun. So Chris, thanks for the call, the audio call today, and the video call, and I look forward to next week.
Awesome. Well, thanks for bringing those cool guests, walking around Yorkville, Super Frankie, me in Huntsville in a rainy day in my office. But
it's not raining here.
There you go. All right. So everybody keep listening. Don't forget to follow us, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple Pods, whether it's on our YouTube channels. Just follow Untamed, Chris and Super
You're
Frankie.
Always up for something crazy.
Exactly. We're always up for something crazy, and we're always up to have just fun guests that come on. Sometimes you're going to just hear me and Frankie chat. Like next week, we got to chat US Open, because that'll be in the second week. We got to chat US Open next week. Okay.
Well, it's my dream to take my dad there once. So one of these days, you never know.
It's my favorite tennis tournament of the year. So
I saw Djokovic in the final in the French Open, by the way. I was there live.
That's amazing.
I really like the French, obviously, because I'm in France a lot, but I agree with you. I think the US Open is it's the most classic, just you don't have to, you're not going to talk about the balls bouncing off the clay weird, the grass. No. There's no conversation about the grass. There's no conversation about the heat like there is in Australia. This is classic, under the lights, as we knew it in New York, tennis.
Yes.
And exactly. I think that's I agree with you. It's the best tournament of the year. And, it doesn't have that poshness of the French and the Wimbledon, but it's just watching hard tennis, just back and forth and fast.
Exactly.
The way it was meant to be. So
100%. So next week we'll do we'll see what's going on after the first week is done, and we'll chat a little bit about that. And hopefully we got some more people that can come on and chat with them too.
Maybe I'll get a tennis player on. Let me try. I'll try to get us a tennis player of some kind.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure I know some people.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, go have a good day. Go have
Cheers,
fun.
Chris.
Ciao.